Hey y'all, I know it's been a minute and I thank you guys for being very patient with me. I've been watching movies and I haven't been doing any reviews as much as I should be. It's been a few months. I just want to tell everybody I'm doing good. I changed jobs recently, so I'm doing much better. And, but not to dwell on that, but let's get into this Hallmark countdown for Christmas. I have a few movies I have another movie I will be doing a review on. I should have just recorded it this weekend. It's Meet Me Next Christmas. It's currently streaming on Netflix. Christina Milian is the main star, DeVal Ellis, and the guy from Queen Sugar. I always say his name wrong, and my best friend always corrects me, so I don't want to say his name wrong, but Mr. Dark, tall, and handsome. He played Ralph Angel in Queen Sugar. If you haven't watched that show, I think it is currently streaming somewhere, but I'm going to have to check if I'm not mistaken. But let's get into the Hallmark countdown for Christmas. I recently just finished our holiday story. A couple recounts their Christmas love story to their daughter's boyfriend. So we have Nell and we have Dave, and we also have Chris, and we have Joanne. Now, Joanne misses her train, and she tells her boyfriend Chris, and he didn't want to meet her parents. She's like, well, it's too late. And of course, they're looking through the window. Have you ever had like parents that be like so nosy? They'd be looking through the mirror, the window. And that's what they was doing. And she goes to tell Chris something, but of course her phone dies. So she couldn't tell Chris what the most important thing not to ask her dad and her stepmom. And I want to go ahead and say shout out to Nikki DeLoach. She did her big one on this one. And also Warner Christ. I think I said that name right. He also played in a few other Hallmark movies. He played on The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, Holiday Road. I think it's Holiday Road or Trip, I think. And he played on The Color of Rain. The Color of Rain is actually also a good movie, too. I should do a review on that one. If you haven't already, I think it's currently streaming on a free app, or it's on Hallmark's Plus, which used to be Hallmark's Movies Now, and they changed it to Hallmark Plus. And Hallmark Plus is actually good. I also watched the Grimmsmen trilogy. It's 3 movies. It's about 3 guys that grew up together. But let's get back to the task at hand. Now, our holiday Christmas, it is a must-see. I actually really did enjoy this movie, and I am also a big fan of Nikki DeLoach. I love a lot of her movies. I haven't watched all of them, but A Holiday Story, I definitely have to go ahead and pre-order that movie when it comes out, and I'm so super excited. If you haven't already, go to your local Walmart. I currently live in Georgia, so we have it at a couple Walmarts I went to. I got a Biltmore Christmas that came out last Countdown 2023 Hallmark Christmas movies. But A Holiday Story was really, really good. It tells how Nell and Dave met each other on a train. And, of course, the train actually broke down. So, Dave told her about some fruitcake, and he said he was going to get some. So, he leaves the train or whatever, takes his bag, whatever, and said he's going to go get her a fruitcake. Mind you, they thought they were going to be stuck for a while, but the train ends up starting back. And of course, Dave goes to get the cake, and Dave misses his train. And they're looking at each other through the window. She's like, oh my God, what's going on? So they didn't think they was going to see each other again, but they kept talking about it. And, he was telling his daughter, and his daughter's like, why don't you get on one of the little things and, post a message? And Nell's best friend was trying to tell her to do the same thing. She was like, no, people don't do that. And Dave was like, no, he wouldn't do it. So his daughter does it for him. So, of course, him and Nell end up running into each other. But, okay, so Nell moves to a small town, kind of like a small town, where Dave is from. And she starts, like, a whole nother career. She has a bad breakup, and she moves, and she starts to work with her best friend. Like a town council or whatever. She's actually like one of the budget planners because she worked in finance at a bank, so she knows a lot about finances, and I think that's really, really cool or whatever. So her and Dave they had a phone conversation with each other, and her and Dave didn't even know who each other was because, of course, she was going by another name she was going by Nell. She was saying her nickname was Nell and his name was Dave. So she didn't put two and two together. And it was just a lot of mess. It was crazy, but I loved how they were telling Chris their story and how they met, because Chris was like, well, how did you two meet? And how about that is the question she told him, like, hey, don't ask my dad and my stepmom how they met, because the story lasted for like a day and a half. And it was a really good story. Like, I really liked it because it was telling the story in between. You know how some movies, like, they jump in between, you get kind of confused. But our holiday story was actually really, really good. I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely watch it again. I definitely got to add that to my Christmas collection. I like that how her and Dave, because actually Nell found out who Dave was because she went to the Christmas party, because the daughter was messaging her. They met each other twice. They kept running into each other, but the first time they ran into each other, he was like, my daughter's having a crisis. I gotta go meet her at the little shop or whatever, like the little cocoa shop or whatever. And he said, I'll be right back. Nell was waiting for him, and of course, a meter maid came up because Nell was parked in front of a fire hydrant, and that's a big ticket. So Nell was like, well, I'm just waiting for somebody. So she goes to move the car, and Dave comes back, and she's gone. And she only went like right up the road a little bit, not that far, just to go park her car. And he thought she left, so he went on by the day. She got out of the car. She was waiting for him. He never showed back, so she thought he stood her up. Then they saw each other again in passing, and she was like, because he's like, hey, he was like wondering, like, is that Nell? And Nell was like, it's just like something like coincidence. So she turned around and she saw him. And so she gave him her number, and she was like, I'm going to take your number down too. Then her phone, she fell, and her phone broke. And she lost Dave's number, so she had to get a new number. So she went on a little messaging app that her best friend told her about. And lo and behold, Dave posted a message on there. But Dave didn't post the message on, his daughter did. Because Dave was like, no one uses those things or whatever. So she sends Dave a message, and then Dave's daughter sends her a message back. She was like, basically what she was trying to act like she was Dave. So she ends up inviting Nell to the Christmas party. And Nell shows up with the fruitcake, and she shows up in her red dress, and the daughter was like so happy or whatever, because they don't even know who Nell is, and Nell didn't know who they were. So Nell and David were dancing, and he was telling her about like the committee or whatever, and how, just like, stuff going on. She was like, you're Dave, you're such and such. He was like, yeah. She's like, I have to go. So she left, and he was like, what's going on? So the next day, he was telling his daughter some things or whatever, and she was like, let's go to the office and let's go meet this young lady, the woman that's over the committee, because the lady over the committee, like, Nell, is her, but she was acting like, like not persistent, but kind of like, how would you say it? Not snorty, but she was like, strict to the, she was straight to the T when it came to business. And she was trying, like, she's the finance person, so, she's going to be straight to the point, whatever. Like, nonchalant. Well, I wouldn't say nonchalant. She's like, no. So they didn't like her. And his daughter was going to the bathroom. She asked where to go to the bathroom is after they went to the office. And his daughter found out who she was. And she was like, Dad, we gotta go. So they left. Then she sends Nell a message, and her and Nell meet up together. So Nell goes to the little coffee shop thing, and the daughter, she turns around, she's like, oh, it's you, because she met the daughter at the party. It's like, I've been messaging you, actually pretend like I'm my dad or whatever. And she's like, you gotta tell him. She's like, you gotta meet him, gotta tell him. So she goes to go meet him I think it was the next day or the day, a couple hours later, she goes to meet him. She doesn't end up telling him. What ends up happening is, well, I don't want to spoil it, but if you haven't already, definitely check out our holiday story, because I don't want to spoil it, because I can spoil a movie real quick, and I may forget like details in the movie. But our holiday story, I really enjoyed that movie. Made my heart smile, and it really touched my soul. I will rate this a 10 out of 10 because I really did like it. It was another Hallmark movie I had watched, and I was really kind of disappointed because it was good, but it wasn't like, oh my god, like how I was like blown away with our holiday story, because that was the one I wanted to see. Also, it was Alison Swanson, and I'm a big Alison Swanson fan when it comes to some of her movies. I love her acting. Just absolutely love it. Because I loved her in the Wedding Veil. Because all the one centered around her story in the Wedding Veils, I liked hers the best out of everybody's. But I will definitely be doing a review on that one. But Our Holiday Story is a must-see on Hallmark 2024, Countdown to Christmas. And I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. And I will be doing some more reviews. And thank you so much for listening to me. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Of course, I will try to slow it down because I was talking a lot fast on this video. But you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you.